Yo guys, what is up? This is your boy Limitless, aka TapXLimitless, bringing you another video today on the TapXNation channel. How's everyone been? Me personally, I've been great apart from school. School's been piling work on me up leading to the Christmas break. But today, the gameplay you guys are going to be watching is by none other than TapXDestroy. It's going to be a double nuclear on the map Nuketown. He's using that scythe, he's using that M8, and he is absolutely wrecking kids. And today guys, I wanted to bring you another life story that happened fairly recently, maybe a few weeks back, and it was actually the time that I was pretty much held at gunpoint. So if I could just take 1 minute just to explain what a backstory of basically my family. A lot of my family members, including my granddad, his brother and stuff like that, they've all been in the Navy, they've all done their service, you know, been out to Malta and all of these insane places, and it sounds really cool. And me personally, I'm planning on going in the Navy. It's something that's the only reason I was there pretty much. And I decided that I was going to do this a little while back. Ever since I was younger, my dad always going, you know, go in the Navy, and every time I'd be like, no, I don't want to do that, no. But I finally, you know, he said it to me recently, and as I've grown up now, he sort of said, why don't you go in the Navy? And I literally considered it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my research. And then I found out that it was just such a good life, and that you get to see all these insane places, you get so much discount, and on loads of different shops and stuff like that, and it sounds amazing. So I figured, you know what, let me just give it a go. I'll apply for this open day, which obviously I got in, and I just thought, you know what, let's just try it and let's just go for it. So I got to this open day, and effectively the guys there all were kitted out in their Navy uniform and all of this crazy stuff. There was a few veterans who actually knew my granddad, which was quite funny, and we got taken onto the ship. It's called the HMS Bristol. It's an amazing ship. It's a massive, well, not massive, it's not one of the biggest ones, but it's a big warship. And my granddad actually served on there, which is really cool to think that I was on a ship that my granddad served on, and it made a lot of history. It went off to the Falklands and fought in the Falklands War, and it's been on so many different sort of tours, and it's just such an amazing ship. And it's sad to see that they don't actually use it anymore, but they do use it for training drills and stuff like that, which is sort of what we was on there for. But enough of the shit about history. What we're now going to be talking about is when I was on there. We basically got taken into the control room, which, if you guys don't know already, is basically where they would control the engines. They would sort out the engines, because there's like 4 or 5 engines. There was also a secondary steering place there where they communicate, because there was no window out. You couldn't see out. It's basically like in the middle of the ship. And we got taken in there, and it's insane how many like different buttons and stuff like that. You'd have to learn your stuff, you'd have to remember all of it, otherwise you wouldn't even know what you're pressing half the time. But we got taken in there because obviously it's the main part, and it's probably the most impressive part of the ship. The ship's very old, and that still looked like an insane bit of technology. I don't know if they updated it since they last used it, but anyway, it's just insane. But before we got taken in there, a team that were already on the ship started doing one of their drills, which is called a quick draw, which is basically where if they have an intruder that started shooting people, they would have a team where they'd go out and search for the people. They'd have their body armor on, they'd have their standard British rifle, and they'd basically go out and they'd try to either kill him or capture him and stop him from doing what he's doing. So we was there in the control room just looking about, when all of a sudden the door just slams open. You see these 4 or 5 people just run in with standard British rifles. I think they're called like L8-6A2s or something like that. I'm not the best with guns. And they basically ran in, checked every corner, checked every little bit. And as this guy walked past me, he stood, well, he didn't stand, he sort of walked like sort of to his side and was just pointing this gun at me. It was like 10 seconds long, and I was just sort of there, obviously watching as I was meant to, but I saw this sort of like mag in the back, and I'm not trying to say this is why, because my mind's pretty much went crazy at the point. I just sort of thought, if his finger slips and it pulls that trigger, I'm dead, you know, that's me gone, that's me game over. And obviously they're not going to have real bullets in there, but my mind didn't know what was going on at the time, so I was just startled from how the fact they just bursted in, because it's like this massive metal door, so it just slammed against the wall, and it was so loud. So this guy walks in and he just stares at me with this gun pointed straight at me, so I pretty much shit myself. Even though after he came over to me, he said, sorry if I scared you. I don't know if he could see by my face or something like that. But, you know, I got to hold this rifle, and it's not as heavy as I thought, actually. It's not, you know, a really heavy gun. But the body armor he had on was insanely heavy. It was insanely heavy. But I hope you guys did enjoy this commentary. If you did, please do like, hit that subscribe button if you're new. It's really appreciated. And subscribe to me and TapXDestroy if you like the commentary / gameplay. But yeah, guys, that's me out. Peace.